Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Georgia. I hope you're well. Welcome to another monthly TBR video. I do have a little parrot on my shoulder today. It's currently 32 degrees and, you know, this very fluffy cat in her winter coat decides that today is a good day to cuddle. I am melting. I don't know how she's coping in this heat, so we are doing the best we can. Anyway, today we're going to be pulling my July TBR. We are officially at like the halfway point of the year. We've done 6 months worth of reading. I feel like I'm relatively on track with a lot of my goals. Obviously I picked 80 books for this year. I'm on 43, so I'm definitely above halfway on that. So I first just wanted to sort of sit down and go through my goals that I set for this year and sort of how we're getting on. I do this in my monthly doing book stuff videos anyway, but I just wanted to sort of give you guys an update for those of you who don't watch my doing book stuff. I just wanted to give you guys a quick update with my journal. So I haven't updated this for the month of June yet because I do these at the end of the month and we're not quite at the end of the month yet. So my goals were to read 80 books. I'm currently on 43, so I'm on my way for that. I then have to keep my current series under 25. I'm on like 16 at the moment, but again I haven't updated it for this month. I do think it's up a little bit, but it's still below 25, so doing good on that one. I then have my 26 and 2026. I am halfway there with that. I've read 13 of them, which is the best I've ever done in my sort of like annual ones anyway. So I'm halfway to those, so that's good. And then I also have like an A to Z challenge, and I have 10 letters left of that. So again, I'm on track for that. I'm doing well with that, but obviously when you get towards the end it gets harder and harder, so we will see how we go. But I do feel like I'm sticking to my goals pretty well. I feel like I've done pretty good on that. Obviously we have the TBR cart. This is pretty much my goal cart anyway, so this is books that are series I'm already in the middle of, or they are books that are on my 26 and 2026 anyway. We're making good way with that. We are keeping an eye on this at all times, which is pretty good. Some of them are in the wrong order, but I'm not about to start swapping them. I tend to have like my 26 and 2026 to the right of the cart and my continuing series to the left, but these two are the wrong way around. I do have this big book here that didn't fit in this, but also I didn't want to put it on the back because I knew I'd forget it. This is just the last book in the Ruthless Boys of the Zodiacs. It's Warrior Fae by the Twisted Sisters. It's obviously a chunker, but I would quite like to get to that this month, so we'll see how we go with that. I am massively in sort of like my romance mood at the moment. I feel like through spring and summer all I want to read is romance, and then when we get into the more like autumny winter months I do gravitate back towards fantasy, so we will see how we go. She just wants to cuddle and it's just too hot. I don't know how this is benefiting you, child. You must be sweating. So grab a drink, grab a snack, and let's jump straight in. I don't have my Monster today, but I do have my Stanley full of like ice cold water. So that's actually juice. I don't drink water. So as always, I'm going to be using my trusty TBR jar. I only have a few prompts left in here. It's looking very slim. And I've also made a TBR jar, which is literally every single book that's on my physical TBR, so you never know, we might start pulling one from there as well. But there is also a prompt in here that I've added to say pick a book from the TBR jar. So as always, we're going to pick 6 books, and those 6 books will be the 6 books that will be on our TBR for the month of July. So let's just jump straight in. Okay, our first prompt, we'll go for the green. A book that's new to my TBR. I do have one in mind that I just kind of want to immediately throw on here, and that is Mr. Wrong Number. So I think the first book that I'm going to put on my TBR for the month of July is Mr. Wrong Number by Lynn Painter. This is new to my TBR, obviously, it's not a new book. This is book 1 in the Mr. Wrong Number series, and I read book 2 years ago, and then I picked this book up when I went to 66 Books last month. It is one of the newest books to my TBR. I think we're going to go for this one. I love Lynn Painter's writing. Like I said, I read The Love Wager, I want to say like last year, even maybe the year before. It was a very long time ago now, and I loved it. I just think the banter and stuff was so much fun, so I'm really hoping for a similar vibe with this one. So yes, I read book 2 before I read book 1. I didn't realise it was part of a series, so I think we will go for this one. So it just says, bad luck has always followed Olivia Marshall, but when a "what are you wearing" text from a random number turns into the hottest, most entertaining relationship of her life, she thinks things might be looking up. Colin Beck has always seen Olivia as his flatmate's annoying little sister until she moves in with them and he realises she's turned into an altogether sexier distraction. He's determined to keep his distance, but it isn't easy, especially when he discovers she's the flirty, funny and anonymous girl he's been secretly messaging for weeks. Now Mr. Wrong Number has a decision to make. Should he shut down the messages before things get messy, or turn up the heat? I love this. I really enjoy books that have like texts or letters or like post-its, that sort of thing. So I think this is gonna be a lot of fun, especially when it's like best friend's brother or like flatmate's sister and all that sort of stuff. Like when there's that sort of forbidden element or like, you know, that messy sort of element to it. I always think it's so funny. And also I really like the text message element. I like the forbidden element of like a flatmate's sister or best friend's sister, that sort of vibe. So I am really looking forward to this one. I think this one's gonna be a lot of fun. I have wanted to read this for a long time and then struggled to actually get a hold of it. So when I saw this in 66 books, I snatched it up. I am very, very excited to read this one. So our first book for the month of July, we have Mr. Wrong Number by Lynn Painter. Let's go in for prompt number 2. I've got a green and a yellow again. I'm gonna go for the yellow one this time. A book that's been highly recommended. Okay. Ooh, I definitely have a couple of options. I've pulled 2 possible options. They're both sport romance. I asked a while ago for some like sport romance recommendations, and I've recently finished the Off Campus series by Elle Kennedy, and I'm sort of looking for my next good sport romance read. So both of these series have come highly recommended to me, and they are also both on my 26 and 2026, so I feel like one of these would be a good shout. So my options are Face Off by Chelsea Curto and also Consider Me by Becca Mack. I think they're both sort of professional hockey rather than like college hockey. I know Faye is reading this series at the minute. It might be fun to read this alongside somebody and have somebody who's also reading it, so maybe we'll go for Consider Me by Becca Mack. I've heard the most amazing things about both series, but I feel like this one definitely came more highly recommended, but I don't know if it was just more read than this one at the time of me asking the question about it. So I don't know. I think we're going to go for Consider Me by Becca Mack. So to again quickly read you the back then. For a shot of love, he'll do whatever it takes. Carter Becker is the NHL's best player, both on and off the ice. His career is at its peak. His team is performing better than ever, and there's no shortage of women to spend the night with. What more could he want? Olivia Parker isn't new to professional hockey players, thanks to her best friend's boyfriend, and she's no interest in dating one herself, no matter how hot he is. And anyway, she loves working as a teacher and hanging out with her best friend drama-free. Why would she want to spend her time stroking the ego of an arrogant athlete? But once Carter meets Olivia, he can't think of anyone else. Too bad for him, Olivia is hellbent on keeping him at arm's length, with no intention of giving in to his charms. Perhaps it's time for Carter to up his game. After all, nobody ever said he had to play fair. Sparks will fly as Carter does whatever it takes for Olivia to consider him. Okay, I am very, very intrigued by that. That sounds like a lot of fun. I love it when a guy is like down bad. I think it's so entertaining, and I just love him, like the yearning that you get from a book like that. So I think this one will be really, really good. I've heard amazing things. Like I said, Faye is reading this at the moment. She's not very far in, but she said like it's really funny and really entertaining, that she's having a really good time with it. So I do have high hopes for it. Our second book for July, we're going to jump on with a sport romance. We're going to put Consider Me by Becca Mack on the TBR. Okay, we've got a pretty solid TBR so far. Let's go in for book number 3. I have a pink one. Okay, so we have a book one of your fave YouTubers rated 5 stars. I feel like I've stopped showing you guys the prompts. There's definitely some options here, but I know for a fact there are some books that the majority of my favourite YouTubers have rated 5 stars. And I feel like Emily Henry is a very good place to go for this. So I've got 5 books by Emily Henry, and these are the 2 left that I have to read. So we've got Beach Read and Book Lovers. Now I've just had a quick look on Goodreads, and Beach Read has sort of like 4.5 from some of my favourite YouTubers, whereas Book Lovers got solid 5s from a lot of them. Emmy rated this 5-star, Larry rated this 5-star, Sarah rated this 5-star. So you know, some of my favourite booktubers have rated this 5-star. So I think this is going to be a very good one to jump into. So this is Book Lovers by Emily Henry, and this is also on sort of like my summer TBR. I do have a list of books that I would like to get to this summer. They are all romances, they are all sort of that cozy vibe, but so I definitely have a good chunk of books I'd love to get to in summer, and this is up there with one of them, as is Beach Read to be fair, but I might save this for my holiday, we will see. To give you a little bit more about Book Lovers then, so it just says on the back, Nora is a cutthroat literary agent at the top of her game. Her whole life is books. Charlie is an editor with a gift for creating bestsellers, and he's Nora's work nemesis. Nora has been through enough breakups to know she's the one men date before finding their happily ever after. To prevent another dating dud, Nora's sister persuades her to swap her city desk for a month's holiday in Sunshine Falls. It's a small town straight out of a romance novel, but instead of meeting sexy lumberjacks, handsome doctors or cute bartenders, Nora keeps running into Charlie. She's no heroine, he's no hero, so can they take a page out of an entirely different book? I'm really intrigued by this one. It sounds like a bit of an enemies to lovers. It's giving like just for the summer vibes to me. Like she's the one people date before finding their like happily ever after is very similar to the sort of setup for Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez, if you ask me anyway. It might be completely different, but that's just sort of the vibes I get from that sort of line in the synopsis. This one sounds so much fun. I think it's going to be really fun to see sort of the enemies to lovers side of this. I love Emily Henry's writing anyway. I think she's so fun and easy to read. There's always that sort of slightly difficult topic running throughout, but all in all just such a fun get lost in romance, and I am so excited to read this. We've got Nora and Charlie. I'm really excited. I think it's going to be a nice sort of like bookish themed book as well, which I think is always a lot of fun, so I'm really looking forward to giving this one a go. And like I say, some of my favourite YouTubers have rated this 5 stars, especially like coming from people like Emmy who doesn't read a lot of romance and mainly reads sort of fantasy. I feel like having a 5-star romance, it's got to be a good one. It's just got to be. So on their recommendation, on Emmy's recommendation, on Larry's recommendation, on Sarah's recommendation, we are going to read Book Lovers by Emily Henry. I'm loving this TBR. This is going to be such a fun one. Halfway there. Prompt number 4. A purple one. No repeating colours yet. That tickles my brain. I like that. A book with a 5-word title. Oh, okay. Do I have any on here that have 5-letter titles? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, no. No, 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 no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One option. If we're sticking to the car, I actually only have one book with a 5-letter title. I mean, it's the only one on my TBR car. I was trying to be quite strict with my car and finishing off some series, and this is continuing a series I am in the middle of. So I think I'm going to go for the Happily Ever After playlist by Abby Jimenez. This is book 2 in the Friend Zone series by this author. I read book 1 last month and it absolutely broke my heart. And this I'm hoping is going to put it back together again. So like I say, it's book 2 in a series. They are interconnected standalones, so you can read them out of order, but I would highly recommend reading them in order, especially for the ending of book 1 and going into this one. I think it's going to really matter. This one follows Sloane, which is the female character in book 1's best friend, and in that book you see sort of what happens to Sloane's relationship. So I'll read you the back of it, but I definitely want to jump into this. I think it's going to be really nice to see Sloane's story in this one after the happenings of book 1. So I'll read you the back. So 2 years after losing her fiancé, Sloane Monroe can't seem to get her life back on track. But one troublemaking pup with a take me home look in his eyes is about to change everything. With her new pet by her side, Sloane finally starts to feel more like herself. Then after several weeks of unanswered texts, Tucker's owner reaches out. He's a musician on tour in Australia. The bottom line, he wants Tucker back. But Sloane's not about to give up her dog without a fight. But what if this Jason guy really loves Tucker? As their flirty texts turn into long calls, Sloane can't deny their connection. Jason is hot and nice and funny. There's no telling what could happen when they meet in person. The question is, how long is Jason really sticking around, and is it possible for Sloane to survive another heartbreak? So this book is set 2 years after book 1. So in book 1 we do see what happens to Sloane's fiancé. So I think it's going to be really nice and really sweet to sort of see her get her happily ever after. I'm hoping. We do usually get a happily ever after from Abby Jimenez. After the true heartbreak I felt after book 1, and like it genuinely broke me. There is video evidence of my reaction to the end of book 1. I think it'll be so sweet to sort of see her get her love back and her light back. So I'm so excited to read this. This is probably going to be the first book off this TBR that I read, because I'm telling you something, it's just heartbreak. So our 4th book for the month of July then, we're going to put the Happily Ever After playlist by Abby Jimenez onto the TBR. Okay, book number 5. Freya's just laid down across all of my TBR prompts. If there's a bit of card on the floor, she will find a way to get all 4 paws onto it, but there's 4 bits of card on the floor, so she's just like laid out over all of them. Okay, we have a book to match the current season, so we're looking for a summery read. I feel we should just, head to the summer TBR and see what other books are on there that we could read. Let's have a look. I'm just looking through my list. I feel like a country romance is always a really good place to sort of head to for summery reads. I feel like all country romances have that sort of summer vibe, so that's definitely an option. I mean, it's not on the card, but I do have 2 books that might be really good for this prompt. Let me go and get them. I've actually ended up picking up 3 books that I feel would fit quite nicely for this prompt. So the first one I picked up was Nora Goes Off Script. I've seen this on a lot of people's summer TBR, and I just feel like this has been put there for a reason. It's also like a really short one. It's like just over 200 pages. I've not read anything by Annabelle Moynihan before, so I feel like this is definitely an option. I also have Christina Lauren's The Honeymooners. This just gives me summer vibes, like they're literally sat on the beach both reading a book. Like, this is summer vibes to a T, if you ask me. I've not actually read the back of this one in a long time either, so I'm not entirely sure what this one is about, but again, it's one that's on my summer TBR. I also have Summer in the City by Alex Astor. I've heard quite mixed things about this one, which I think is the only reason why I've not actually read it yet, but I mean, it literally has summer in the title, so I feel like this would be the most appropriate one for this prompt, maybe. I think I might go for this one. I mean, I spent some time in New York last year in like really hot weather, and it was all really summery, and I'm hoping that this just sort of takes me on that tour back around New York, so maybe we'll read this one just for the nostalgia of New York. I'm gonna go for this one. So this is Summer in the City by Alex Astor. I don't actually know a lot about this book. It kind of did the rounds a bit at the end of last year, I believe. I am quite looking forward to actually getting back into this. I feel like it just has so many nice little vibes from when I went to New York. Like, they talk about a lot of the places that we visit on here, so maybe we'll read this one. I'll just read you the synopsis. So 27-year-old screenwriter Elle has the chance of a lifetime to write a big budget movie set in New York. The only problem, she's had writer's block for months and her screenplay is due at the end of summer. Desperate for inspiration, Elle returns to New York City, the city she hates, and tries to throw herself into her writing. But then she meets her new neighbour, Parker Warren. He's the city's favourite handsome tech billionaire, and he's also the guy Elle hooked up with in the stairwell 2 years ago. When seeing him again turns into a night of hate-fueled writing, Elle realises Parker might just be her twisted muse. So when Parker needs to fake a steady relationship during his company's precarious acquisition, and Elle needs to research a list of classic date spots in the city for her screenplay, they suddenly find they might be exactly what the other needs. Summers always end, and so will this agreement. It's all pretend, promise, until it isn't. This one sounds like so much fun. We've got that fake dating element. We've got these touring the best date spots in New York. I think this is going to be the perfect summer read. Like I say, I've been to New York, so I'm really looking forward to sort of revisiting these places in these books, but in this sort of like fake dating, enemies to lovers situation. We've got a hookup gone bad by the sounds of it, and I'm so excited. I'm actually really looking forward to this now that I've read the back again. I have read by Alex Astor before, but I've only read from sort of like a fantasy point of view. So I've read her Lightlark series, or I've read books 1 to 3 in that, and I really enjoy her writing style. It is third person in that though, so I think this might be first, which makes me happy because I much prefer first person perspective. So yeah, our 5th book for the month of July then, we're going to put Summer in the City by Alex Astor on the TBR. Our 6th and final prompt for the month of July then. I have a Bible one. A book by an author I've never read from before. Okay. I've just immediately looked back at my summer TBR, the ones that I pulled from before, because I've read all of these. I'm really not feeling fantasy at the moment. This shelf may as well just not exist today. So we're ignoring this shelf. But I have never read from either of these authors before. These are the ones I was speaking about before. So maybe we read from one of these. I'm going to read the backs of both, and then I'll come back to you and let you know which one I'm going to read. I think we're going to go with this one. This one sounds like a lot of fun. Our final book for the month of July, I think we're going to put The Honeymooners by Christina Lauren on the TBR. This one sounds so entertaining. I'll read you the back and then we'll have a little chat about it. So anything can happen during the trip of a lifetime. Olive is always unlucky. Her identical twin sister Amy, on the other hand, is probably the luckiest person in the world. About to marry her dream man, her entire wedding has been fully paid for by winning a series of competitions. Meanwhile, Olive is forced to play nice with her sworn enemy, the best man, Ethan. But Olive's luck may be about to turn. When the entire wedding party, except for Olive and Ethan, gets food poisoning, there's an all-expenses-paid honeymoon in Hawaii up for grabs. Putting their mutual hatred aside for the sake of a free holiday, Olive and Ethan head for paradise, determined to avoid each other at all costs. But when Olive runs into her future boss, the little white lie she tells him threatens to spiral out of control. Forced to play loving newlyweds, she and Ethan find themselves in much closer proximity than they ever expected. The problem is that soon Olive finds that maybe she doesn't mind pretending. In fact, she's beginning to feel kind of lucky. So we've got sort of like enemies to lovers situation. We've got fake dating or fake newlyweds situation. We've got a trip to Hawaii, which is literally my dream holiday. It's my dream destination, bucket list item. Like, I would love to go to Hawaii, so I feel like this is just going to be the sweetest read and I cannot wait. It's going to be so fun. So yeah, I think we're definitely putting this on there. This is going to be so fun. I can feel it already. I could just feel the summery vibes, the entertainment, the amusement that this book is going to give me. So do you know what, we're going to go for it. Our 6th and final books for our July TBR, we're going to put The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. So there we have our little TBR stack. It's going to be such a fun, romance filled, flirty, romancy summer reading month, and I genuinely cannot wait. I do plan on doing a 24-hour reading challenge in the month of July as well, so hopefully we'll get to a few of these in that video as well. So yeah, I'm really happy with that TBR. I think this is going to be such a fun month. So finishing a series, starting a series, standalone, continuing a series, standalone. That's fine. That is a manageable thing. I'm taking one more off my 26 and 2026 as well. I think that's a pretty well behaved TBR if you ask me. There we have it. So we have Mr. Wrong Number by Lynn Painter, we have Consider Me by Becca Mack, we have Book Lovers by Emily Henry, The Happily Ever After Playlist by Abby Jimenez, Summer in the City by Alex Astor, and The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. What a fun month. I am actually so excited for July reads already. This is going to be so entertaining, so much fun, and I just cannot wait. I cannot wait. There we have it. That is everything for today's video. If you've read any of these books, let me know what you thought of them in the comments down below. I always love hearing your guys' opinions, and also just let me know what's on your TBR for the month of July. Thank you so much for being here. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And as always, my social media, my Amazon, my Goodreads and my business email are all in the description bar down below. I really hope you guys are well, and you take care. Thank you. Bye.